So I wanted to share with you an experience, an extreme experience that I had in 2014, going to a 21-day, 21-night darkroom retreat in Thailand at Tao Garden with Mantak Chia, Grandmaster Mantak Chia. Tao Garden is a wonderful retreat space, super beautiful, that offers many different modalities and practices, and one of them is a 7, 14, and 21-day darkroom retreat where you literally stay in a room in the dark 24 hours a day, and it is a place where you really get to see yourself. It's definitely not easy, at least it wasn't for me, but it was one of the most profound experiences, and I'm really honored that I was able to participate in that. I heard about it first from our yoga teacher Kish in California. At the time, 5 of us were living in Costa Rica, and then 2 of us ended up actually going to the retreat. I wanted to share that this exists, and it is a gift to oneself to be able to do something like that. With all the stimulation, with all the screens that are going on, to literally sit 24 hours in the dark is amazing without so much stimulation going in. Obviously, the most stimulation goes through our eyes. Without any stimulation, music, or anything like that going into our ears, besides a few guided meditations that Mantak was offering. It also very little food. We were fasting there. We got a few peanuts, some herb balls, and very strong detoxing herbal teas. I literally lost, I think, 16 pounds, even though I was already raw vegan. I was already doing colonics. I was already used to fasting. I had a clean body, and I still lost 16 pounds in those 3 weeks, and literally just shed it from me. And what it did to my mind was I started remembering many things. I remembered things from drunken nights. I remembered things from childhood, even infancy. I started getting memories and visions from when I was very young, in kindergarten, in grammar school, and I became aware of my behavior, the way I speak, the jokes, the way I pronounce things. Every word became a memory of when I first had that become an attachment to me and a way for me to speak. And I remembered all the people that programmed me within my first 7 years, anything from my parents to teachers to people in kindergarten, and before that at daycare, people and kids from very young age, and that shaped me, that shaped my reality, and that became where I became aware of my ego. And it's amazing to be in an environment where you don't see yourself. There was no mirror, you can't look at yourself. There's no real input. And it was very detoxing. There were guided meditations by Mantak Chia. He would hit the gong. And that's when I knew there was going to be some talking. The way they set it up was they had basically a courtyard with just apartments, 2 levels, that they completely covered, and they were pumping oxygen into it. So they completely covered this apartment building with this courtyard inside. And the first night there was dim lighting where you could orient yourself. I was on the 2nd floor, and there was railing, and I could walk, and I knew how to get down. You would hit balloons, and that would give you the clue that there was going to be stairs. I knew there were 14 stairs going down, and then I was the fourth mat. So I would crawl and then feel my fourth mat. I actually put my shoes there so that I would identify that this is my mat. And we would sit down, and after we hear the gong, and then Mantak Chia would go into this Taoism and give us these downloads. They were definitely people that were way more advanced than me. And we also learned about lucid dreaming, and I had incredible dreams. There was actually many times where there was a lot of telepathy going on. I sometimes had to put my hand in front of my mouth to see if I was speaking or if I was just, having a conversation telepathically. And the lucid dreaming was next level, and there were people in there going way beyond me. I mean, I was able to fly. I was able to see the rice fields from the area. I was able to make connection with people in my life. I was able to go underwater, and some people over there were sharing at the very end on the last day. There was a little bit of Q&A, and some people were literally space traveling. And at the time, I didn't really fully necessarily believe it, and then later on, as my spiritual practice grew and I became more aware of what's possible, I was like, wow, these guys were on a next level. And I was honored to be in the presence of the people there, and I was honored to have had this experience. Let me know if you want to know a little bit more about this, if I should share more and make some more videos about it. But if you're curious, please welcome to ask me questions. If you've ever done a dark room, please share some of your insights of what you've experienced. I'd love to hear it.